press the bell icon. Never miss an update from Student Khabari.
Hello guys and welcome back. I'm Avinash and you're watching Student Khabari. Now in this series of studying abroad, especially for Indian students, this video is all about letter of recommendation, or we call it LOR. Now if I'll say LOR is one of the most important documents, okay, if not the you cannot actually ignore this document, because this document actually specifies why this person should is eligible, or I should say has proper credentials or proper attitude to take admission in this particular institution. Letter of recommendation holds a huge credibility. Now credibility of you as well as the person who is writing this letter of recommendation for you. So make sure you're noting down every single detail on this video, because if you're going to make any mistakes on letter of recommendation, it's going to cost you the career. Okay, so make sure you're noting down every single detail. Okay, first of all, letter of recommendation is not just a single document. Okay, there are different types of letter of recommendation. So basically, if we say there are two types of letter of recommendation, first type is academic letter of recommendation. And now academic letter of recommendation specifies what you have done academically. Like let's say you were pursuing physics, or let's say you were pursuing engineering, you were pursuing MBBS, whatever you were pursuing, they're going to say how academically you were performing in that particular course, or I should say the subject. Now what was your attitude towards that subject? Were you thinking about something else, and like the teacher was knowing that you are actually learning? Or if you were not learning, were you trying to actually learn things, maybe from asking your friends, maybe teaching to different people? So that actually specifies that how serious you were academically. Now there is one more type of letter of recommendation, that is a professional letter of recommendation. So let's say I say I'm Avinash, and I'll say I have a master's, I'm a certified cricketer. Okay, I can say that I'm a certified cricketer, but that has to be specified, or I should say that has to be said by someone who is actually a cricketer, not just anyone else. So now why I'm saying that? Because if I'm saying I'm a certified cricketer, that means I should be able to face any ball, I should be able to play at any condition. But if that's not the reality, I don't have the practical understanding or the practical knowledge. So if I talk about the professional letter of recommendation, specifies your attitude, or I should say how you work with team, how you work for team, or how you work as a leader for a team, how you work in a stressful condition, and what is your attitude towards work. Are you punctual? Are you in discipline, or are you indisciplined? What is your attitude towards problems faced by the people or the team members of your team? So that tells how professionally, I should say, how professionally sound you are. So letter of recommendation is not just a piece of document. There are two types. First is academic letter of recommendation, and second is professional letter of recommendation. Okay, now people make one of the major mistake. They say, okay, letter of recommendation, so they just go out to a particular teacher, or I should say their colleague, and they just get one letter of recommendation done, and they say, okay, that's fine. Well, it's not that case. Reason being, letter of recommendation is a recommendation given by someone else for you. So it cannot be just one letter of recommendation. So like I can actually go to my friend and I will say, please, you become the CEO of the company and write a letter of recommendation to me. Now they are going to actually cross-verify that. They may be actually, you have to give all the details of the person who is writing the letter of recommendation, so they can actually cross-verify from that person. So it's not that simple. Okay, you have to give all the details, as well as make sure you have at least 2 to 3 letter of recommendation given by the people, so that you can actually verify, or I should say you can validate that you are the right person with the right attitude. Otherwise they're not going to take you seriously, and which is going to cost you the career itself. Okay, now we are going to discuss the common mistakes made by the students while getting a letter of recommendation. Now first of all, I want to mention one thing. In case if you are not confident about the letter of recommendation you have, you can actually ask our dedicated counselor about that letter of recommendation, and you can get our ideas about what could be improved there. Because if you're going to make a mistake on a letter of recommendation, it is going to be a point where it is going to get you rejected, or your application getting rejected. So instead of making a mistake, instead of sending a wrong letter of recommendation, do let us know. You can email us, you can comment down, you can also WhatsApp us, you can call us, we can help you with that. Now let's discuss the few mistakes a lot of of students make while writing a letter of recommendation. So first of all, one of the major mistake is they're choosing a wrong person to write a letter of recommendation. So as I've said, let's say I'm applying for MS in computer science. Okay, now if I'm applying for MS in computer science, that means I'm saying that I want to study computer science in MS. Now who should be writing my letter of recommendation? Should that be my mother? Should that be my employer in case if I work with them? Or should that be my graduate teacher or the teacher under whom I have studied my graduation? Okay, of course, the right person. So one of the biggest mistake is, even if the name is credible, but that does not belong to that industry, or I should say the subject matter expertise, that person is not going to hold that credibility on the particular subject matter. So instead of choosing just anyone, choose the right person. And if you do not know who you should choose, let us know so we can help you out with that. Now, letter of recommendation is not just a piece of document, as I've said in this video numerous times. It is not just a piece of document, it is a very important document and it holds a lot of weightage. Okay, now if you're going to just get the letter of recommendation done in hurry, you're not going to mention the person what are the details which should be mentioned in letter of recommendation. That person is going to write a casual letter of recommendation, and that casual letter of recommendation will be showing your casual attitude, or I should say casual personality of you as a student, which is going to be a point of rejection. So make sure you're giving a proper time, you're discussing with the person who is writing the letter of recommendation, you're thinking, you're also looking at the samples. In case if you do not have the samples of letter of recommendation, do let us know, we can help you with that. Okay, so make sure you have studied the samples. You can actually ask the different people who have already applied for that particular institution to go through the letter of recommendation, or they can give you the ideas about what has to be there in the letter of recommendation or what should not be in the letter of recommendation. Now, one more important thing which is shown in the letter of recommendation is the writing of the person. So that person should not write the letter of recommendation in just a casual language, okay, using any jargons which may actually cause the person who is reading that difficulty. Okay, maybe that person is using bad grammar, I should say bad English, so that could also become a huge problem for you in that letter of recommendation. Now, one of the major mistakes students do while writing a letter of recommendation, like the student who show their letter of recommendation, they just try to justify why they are the right person there without justifying their weaknesses. Now, a lot of students never mention their weaknesses, and that is fine. Sometimes they mention and sometimes it also gets rejected. So what is the issue there? Now, biggest issue is if you're not going to mention your weaknesses, it may sound like you are an arrogant person or you are a huge positive person, but what I would say, if you're writing your weaknesses, make sure that you're writing your weaknesses along with the solution you're giving to yourself. Let's say you're saying you're not good in programming. Okay, now I'm just taking an example. Let's say you're not good in programming, you're not good in communication, or I should say you're not a people person. So what you're doing with that, let's say you're not a people person, so what you're doing that, you will say, actually I attend different meetup where I meet with different people and I'm trying to remove the hesitation of meeting new people. So that would be one of the good thing which will actually show that this person is actually thinking. Now this has to be shown from the point of view of the person who is writing the letter of recommendation. So it gives you double credibility, it gives you better I should say position in terms of other students who have written their letter of recommendation. Now finally, what should not be included in your letter of recommendation? So first of all, any casual, I should say, victory should not be a part of a letter of recommendation. What do I mean by casual victory? So let's say you were playing in your local society and you won the match, you won the trophy. Now it's not a very big stage there, and the company, or I should say the people who are looking for the future candidates, they don't want people who are champion in their society. They want people who are champion with among the people who are stranger to them. So let's say your college, like you were the captain of a college winning team of football, or let's say essay writing, or like I can say spelling bee, or whatever that is. Mention those kind of things which shows that you have actually performed in a bigger stage. Now one more thing which I want to mention, a lot of students make this mistake. They want to show something else. I don't know what's the big issue with them. Sometimes they show their negative attitude, like let's say someone is a high tempered person. So don't put those kind of things in your letter of recommendation. Don't ask people to write those kind of things in your letter of recommendation, because it is just a negative point against you. Now, even though you can show it as a weakness, but don't show extreme weaknesses. You can show some minor weaknesses, like I'll say weaknesses could be like I'm not good at a particular language, or I'm not a good people person, or something like that. Don't show something like that. I get mad very easily at people who do not agree with me and how I'm showing that I'm working with team. Don't show these kind of weaknesses which are very extreme. So with this, details about letter of recommendation is over. Now, in case if you're worried about something in your letter of recommendation, you have to contact us. We can help you. Our counselors are sitting there to help you out. So in case if you need any help, or you need any sample letter of recommendation, do let us know. You can reach us on WhatsApp, you can reach us on email, or you can also comment us. We can help you out, and we will be replying as soon as we get your query. So with this, thank you for watching this video, and I would say give a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel.